Hello, Graham Howarth from PageBuilderInMinutes.com. In today's video, we're going to look at 5 ways in which we can add more content to your landing page. I'll be building on the videos we did earlier, so if you've not seen those, then I'll put the links below this video, and when you've had a look at those, you can come back here. Okay, what we're going to do is to look at adding dividers into the form just to break up some of the text and headings, etc. I'm going to add some additional title fields to show you how you can do that, and then we'll add some additional descriptive text which will give a little bit more information about the lead magnet that you're promoting. We'll also add another image into the page, and I'll show you how to add in more social media links. Okay, so let's go to the landing page and forms section, and here we can either look at everything on this particular section, or we can look at just the forms or just the landing pages. And if we look to the right hand side, you've got a number of different options. You can edit the page that the landing page that we're looking at. You can rename it if you wish. You can duplicate it if you wanted to make some changes just to give you an alternative landing page, see which works best. You can unpublish it if you wish to. This one's published at the moment. You can unpublish it, or you can delete it completely. So we'll just go to the edit point and we'll look at how it was when we left it last time. So if we go to the preview, here's what the form looked like last time we did some changes to it. Okay, so let's go into the editor, and we're going to be using some of these elements here, and we'll focus on adding those elements to enhance the page even further, so that hopefully visitors are encouraged to share their contact details. So we've got 5 elements here that we can use. We can add additional titles, we can put more text in, we can add a separate image, we can add dividers which will help to break it up a little bit, and we can add further social media links to the form. Okay, let's first of all look at how we can use dividers here just to break up the form a little bit. So it's a simple click and drag. So if we grab hold of the divider, you'll see that wherever we place the cursor, it will drop the divider in. So if I drop one at the top there, and then if we put another one just under there, let's get it in the right place, there we go. Okay, now obviously that's got a bit of an unequal gap, so if we look at this this line here, and first of all let's just change the color of it so it stands out a little bit more, and I'll use the blue color I've been using all through to do that. So you see we've changed that to a blue. We'll make it a little bit thicker. You can go as thick as you like here. Oops, missed. We can go as thick as you like with that. We've obviously not got the right colour in there. Let's change that to the blue colour that we normally use. Okay, there's the blue. Okay, so now that's quite thick and probably looks a bit over the top. So if we take that back down, say to 3, that looks quite good. If we go to the other line, we'll do exactly the same. We'll use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll make the thickness 3 again. And so that's looking fairly, that's the same. Yeah, okay. Now what I want to do is equal up this gap between top and bottom here. So if I go to the bottom line and I go to the settings, I can actually increase or decrease the margin the top margin. If I decrease it, you see the line will move up. There we go. So that is looking now to be a little bit better. If we go to the preview, you'll see that that's looking okay. Now the lines are a little bit overlapping the text, so I think we'll go in and just shorten those lines a little bit. So if we go back to the editor, then again we can just click on the line and we can take down the width, say to there, and we can do the same on this other one. Take that down so it's about the same. Just a bit wider. There we go. So now I think if we go back to the preview, that will look a little bit cleaner. So that's helped us to divide up the heading from the rest of the text that it stands at the moment. But we'll add some more things in, so that will start to look even better. Okay, so let's return to the editor, and what we'll do now is add in an additional title just to give it a bit more effect. So again, I'll just scroll up a little bit. So if we look at pulling a title into here, it's the same thing. Just click on, hold, drop over, and just drop where you want it to be, and it will come up with a title block. So we'll just highlight that, and then we're going to put in something like that, and be more effective. Now to make it stand out, I'm going to give that a nice red colour. We'll make the text bigger, and we'll centralize that text. So if we just look at that, probably needs to be, we'll make it bold. We will make it just a little bit bigger, I think. Make it say 30 there. So that now is giving us a bit more emphasis on why they should give you their contact details. So 4 top tips to improve your time management and be more effective. So again, if we look at that in the preview, then that is beginning to stand out there a little bit more. So let's just go back to the editor. Okay, so in this section now we're going to add some more text. So if I take the text box and go the same way, just pull it over, drop it where you want it, and we've got a text block there. Now I've got some text that I'll paste in there, so I'll just pause the video a second. Okay, so I've clicked that text in, I've dropped that in, and if we just look at that, you'll see that on the edit screen here, we've not got the colour going all the way down, but if we do the preview, you'll see that the colour is there on the whole of the form. Not quite sure why it does that, but obviously this we've put in here. We need to just maybe put a couple of returns in here just to break it up a little bit. So let's go back to the editor, and we can do a few things with that. We can if we look at that, we can probably make the text slightly smaller, I think. Let's make it 16, and then I think we will justify it just to even that up a little bit. And then if we look at the text, so maybe put a couple of case returns in at the end of sentences, just to just take that space out, just to give us a little bit more emphasis there. We can look at the margins top and bottom if we wish to, so we could take that text box and maybe move it down a little bit more, and let's just take that the other way. move that up slightly. We've got quite a big gap coming in here now, so let's look at taking that gap down just a touch. Here we go. So again, if we look at the preview now, you'll see that we've got the header that we had before, 4 top tips to improve your time management, the emphasis on being more effective. We've tidied that text up now so that it's aligned more correctly. It's got a few spaces in it, and we've now got the form below there. Okay, so let's go back to the editor, and what we'll do now is drop an image below this text here. So again, if I take the image element and just drag that across, drop that there where we want it, and now we've got the ability to put an image into this space here. So if I click on here, then you'll see that over here we can then change the image. So I'll just pause the video while I upload another image. Okay, so I've uploaded that image and you can see that it's dropped it in here. That's a little bit large, so what we can do is just go over to this image width here, and what that will do is just take down proportionally the size of the image. We just don't want it too big, it just gives it a little bit more interest within the form there. We can change the alignment of that if we wish, so I'll just scroll that, and if I select left it will put the image to the left, but I think it looks better in the center, so we'll leave that in the center. Okay, so if I look at the settings for that, again I can change the margin of the image and just increase that slightly just to drop it down a little bit. I can add some padding inside the image if I want to, just to give us a little bit of space there. So that's got the image looking quite nice now, so we'll leave that as it is, and we'll go back to the editor. What I'm going to do now is just break this form up a little bit. So I'm going to take some dividers again and just drop them in. It's sometimes a bit tricky if the spacing is not quite right. Let's put one at the bottom and drop one there, and just make this spacing here a little bit more padding. There's a picture, so just to give us a bit more space to drag that divider in. We'll go back, pull the divider and drop it there. That's better. Okay, so we've got those two lines again. We can make them a little bit thicker. Make it thickness of 3 like we did the other one. We'll change the colour again to be blue. If I can type the right number in. And we'll do the same with the one underneath. And make the thickness the same, make it 3. Okay, so we've broken out the form a little bit now, makes that stand out just a little bit more. I think I'll just take the width down slightly, and the same with the other one. Take the width down there. Okay, quite good gaps here, so may just, if we go into the line again and go to the settings, we can change the position of the line there, just take that padding down so that we come a little bit closer up, and I think we'll do the same on the bottom with this one. Go to the settings for that, we can take the top margin down on that one and just put that a little bit closer. There we go, that looks a little bit better. So if we look at the preview now, then we'll see that we have got, there's a preview, you'll see now that we've got the heading is broken out a little bit. We've put that more effective change in there. We've looked at the text and made a better description for the text there, and so we've got there, and we've put an image in, and we could put another line above the image if you wanted to, but I think we've tidied that up quite a lot, and there that form looks now much more informative, I think. Okay, so if we go back to the editor now, just got one more thing to look at, which is the social media elements here. So if we just click on there, you'll see as we go over, we can change the button style if we wish to, from round to square. But personally I prefer the round ones, I think they look better, so we'll leave those as round. We can change the alignment of that, we can put them to the left, we can put them to the right, but again I think that the center looks quite good there. Now of course not all of these may be relevant to you, so you can, if you don't have Instagram for example, you can delete the Instagram, just leave those two. You can add new ones. It will start with Instagram, but if we go through YouTube, let's say LinkedIn, so let's say we don't want Instagram, we don't want YouTube, but we do want LinkedIn, then we're left with those three there, and then you put your Facebook URL so that it goes to your page, your Twitter account or your LinkedIn, whichever you want to put in there. So that's relatively straightforward to do, and again you've got some settings, so we can change the margin on those, bring them up, take them down. You can change where they are within there. That will just put it back in the center, so you can do whatever you want to do with that in terms of the positioning of those buttons for the social media elements. Okay, just one final thing before we leave this particular form now is the Powered by Email Octopus. If you click on that, it's a simple toggle. You can take that off or you can take it on. So if we take it off, and then let's have a look at it, preview our form again, you'll see that we no longer have the Promoted by Octopus, Email Octopus. So there the form now is looking much more attractive, much more informative to hopefully get your visitors to leave their contact details. So we'll leave it there. So if I update that, make sure we save all those changes, and we'll leave it there for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like below, and then if you want to see more videos, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.